power of Jesus. Limited faith is controlled by circumstances and motivated by, once again, fear of failure. Fear of failure, that's what it's motivated by. Martha's faith was fundamental. Jesus said, thy brother shall rise again. Verse 23. These words are spoken to what? Kindle hope and faith in Martha. But she said, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last days. Fundamental faith. Verse 24. Martha declared that her fundamental faith is a great truth, but that is not enough. Jesus stated, I am the resurrection and the life. And the life. Verse 25. Jesus was saying that he had all power over death and life in his hand. Then he asked, believest thou this? He had to do a belief check on it right there. Because he had to ask, believest thou this? Martha evaded the question by stating her fundamental faith in her creed. It is not enough to believe in creed only. Faith must go beyond your creed. To the living all power of Christ. Her faith limited the power of Christ.
My Lord.
Limited the power of Christ. How many know you do not want to limit the power of Christ?
That's right.
And it says her faith was limited. And it said Mark 10:27 says this. And Jesus looking upon them saying, with men it is impossible. But not with God. Or with all things. With God, all things are what? Possible. Possible. And at last said, well, Brother Sanders, you told me about there was supposed to be 3 types of faith. But I only covered 2. This is the third one. This is the faith we should possess. At last, unlimited faith came to Martha when she consented to have the stone removed from the grave. Verse 41. When Jesus first ordered the stone from the grave, Martha objected in belief. Verse 39. Then Jesus challenged her to believe, saying, says I not unto thee, that if thou wouldest believe, thou shalt see the glory of God. Verse 40. Now Martha believed and waited to see the glory of God. And she was not disappointed. We often hear that seeing is believing. We always hear that. But this is not so. You believe and then you see. Faith comes before sight. Faith comes before sight. Now Martha's faith is no longer limited to the power of Christ. She considered to have the stone removed from the grave. And Jesus cried out with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. Come forth. His faith was not restricted. It was no more limited. But how do you know Jesus had to be careful?
That's right.
When he said Lazarus come forth.
Yes, sir.
Because if he just said come forth, guess what? Everybody got out. All the people have been walking around. But just would have been the ones that believe now. The ones who was dead in faith, they still have been laying there.
Oh, yes.
Amen. But this is shows you got to ask, get yourself a faith check.
Yes.
Is your faith limited, fundamental, or is it unlimited faith? Amen. And I'm going to close with this scripture. And I just had to put this in chapter. It's called, we all know we need to get there. It's called the Hall of Faith.
Hall of Faith.
Hall of Faith. We're still in the book of Hebrews. Don't worry about the Hall of Fame. Worry about the Hall of Faith. Because that's what we want to eventually end up in the Hall of Faith. It said we need to come to this chapter often and linger along that your faith may be strong in the Lord.
Yes.
For these scriptures will give you views of the history of Israel and the church as it is written by faith in the blood of the saints. Because that's why they call it the Hall of Faith. The Hall of Faith. They worship by faith as Abel did. They walk by faith as Enoch did. They work by faith as Noah did. They live by faith as Father Abraham did. They was governed by faith by Moses as Moses did. They followed by faith as Israel. They fought by faith as Joshua did. They conquered by faith by Gideon as Gideon did. They subdued kingdoms by faith, as King David did. They closed the mouth of lions by faith, as Daniel did. They walked through the fire of faith, as the 3 Hebrew children did. They suffered by faith, as Paul did. They died by faith, as Stephen Stephen did. The first Christian martyr. So you think about these hall of faith. By faith, they was, well, first of all, they was patient. They was courageous in battle. They was made strong out of weakness. They was victorious in defeat. They was more than conquerors by faith. It is only by faith in the all-power of Christ that you can be what? Superior in all your circumstances. And victory of all the evil forces that will destroy you. And we leave it on our final example, who is Jesus Christ, the author and the finisher of our faith. The faith of the saints do inspire us, but let us look to Jesus as our example of faith. Amen. Amen. And to close on this, my main question to all that is here: what kind of faith do you have? Do you have limited faith, fundamental faith, or mouth-moving faith? And I said that God knows. God knows. God bless. That concludes my message.